Topics with Donna. And on this show, we do one thing: keep it real hot. That's honest, open, and transparent. If you didn't know, now you know. So sit back and unwind as we bring the vibe and a little bit of glorious sunshine to your heart, soul, and mind. Your lovely host, Hot Donna, will be with you in just a few moments. But while you wait, go ahead and set an atmosphere of peace in your space. If you can, cut the lights down low, get your hydration on, vibration zone. Cause tonight, you're about to receive some delicious food for your soul. Are you ready? 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 It's about to get You are indeed in the one and only place to be this evening. We appreciate you for joining us, and in just a few moments, we about to turn the heat all the way That's right. It's about to go down right now on Hot Topics with Donna. Show your virtual love by smashing that thumbs up and heart icon as many times as you can. And without further ado, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing your host, the one and only Hot Donna.
Hello. Thank you guys for joining Hot Topics tonight. I told you guys that I was going to have a very special guest on tonight. Thank you for coming on. I am going to go ahead and invite her in, and we're going to get started. I am so excited, guys. I'm so excited, and I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous at the same time because you will see. So I already sent the invite. Thank you guys for joining. I'm so excited. Hey Terry, how are you? So I've already sent her the invite. So I am now just waiting for her to come on. This is her first time doing this. So just be patient. My sister, there she goes. I'm waiting to add her. As you know, I am your host, Donna Taylor, with Hot Topics. Hot Topics is honest, open, and transparent. And so today I'm going to be doing Mother Day special. And so I am having my mother. I'm just waiting. It's still saying it's adding her on today. And so you guys will get to know a little bit more about me, some more stuff that you don't know about me. So we hope that we can get through this without any tears. Hey, Richard. Can't hear me, Karen? Let me see. All right, can you hear me now, Karen? Give me a thumbs up. I know the weather's kind of bad. She's on, so I'm waiting for her to accept the friend request. Let me see if I can send it again. Hopefully we'll be able to get on because I know it's raining and storming. So I'm gonna see if she can come on. All right, she tried to see. It's still editing. Okay. Hey, Deidre. Hey, guys.
Oh, hey.
I can't hear you. cut it up. Cut your volume up.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
I'll
me?
cut it up a little bit more. Let me go cut something down. Hold on.
See, this is my phone act like it doesn't.
All right. Sorry, I had to cut something down so I can hear you. Are you nervous?
Yes.
I can. Can you guys give us some thumbs up if you can hear my mom? I am so excited, nervous. So, as you know, Karen said, hey, Ma.
Hi.
Gina said, OMG. She said, look at Nana on phone. Yes. And Tony's on here. He said hi. So we're going to get started because I don't want to keep her low. You know, I'm putting her outside of her box too. So as you know, my name is Donna Taylor. I am your host for Hot Topics with Donna. And so we're doing a Mother's Day special. And so, you know, I couldn't let, you know, Mother's Day go without me sharing my mom with you all. So give her some thumbs up, some hearts. Her name is Mary Royal, and I am her firstborn, and I am what made her mother. So Cedric is on here. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So your grandsons are on here, your granddaughters on here. I got friends on here. I just want to say thank you. So I'm going to tell you, her name is Mary Royal, and she is my mother, and she's a mother of 3. I have a sister and I have a brother. And like I said, I am the oldest. And so I'm going to allow herself to introduce herself to you and tell you all a little bit about her. And then we're going to get started and have some questions. Tony said, I'm here too. We're at dinner with Franny. Tony said, hey, Nana. So I got my children on here. She got her grandkids on here. That is awesome. I got my friends. That is awesome. Awesome. All right. So go ahead and tell people who you are.
My name is Mary Royal, and I am the mother of 3. Donna's my oldest, and I am a proud mother of 3 great children. And it wasn't easy to raise 3 kids alone, but in the beginning, I was married to Donna's father, and then later on in years, then we separated. So I knew I had to go on and raise my kids. So that's what I did. And like I say, it wasn't easy, but I did the best that I could and with what I knew and what my mother taught me to do, how to take care of my kids.
Mama, they said talk a little louder.
Okay.
Or slide up, talk a little louder. So, so when you found out you was pregnant with me, you were young. So how did that, affect you being a young mother?
Well, it affected me a lot because I didn't know anything about how I was going to raise a baby because, I was young myself. And so everything that I knew about how to raise you is what my mother told me. And I would call her just about every day and ask her, Mom, what do I do this or how do I do that? So she would give me instruction how to do everything. So I did, and I did real good because, I went by what she says. And so I really did good. And I love being a mom for the first time. And I was proud to take care of my daughter. And it just was really, really different. But to me, it was like, hey, I was meant to be a mom at a young age. So I knew what I had to do. So I had to put my daughter first priority.
So tell people how I was as a infant, because everybody see me now and only family know how I was as an infant. So how was your experience with me as a baby growing up?
Well, you was a good baby, and as you was growing up, you was kind of like not a people person. You was kind of quiet, and you like
Like
to do
now?
your own thing. And you didn't like anyone getting in your space like your brother, but you and your brother had a real close relationship. But you was kind of like to yourself, and you didn't like to be around a whole lot of people, and you just was being you. You know, you had your own personality, and that was who you were. And if you didn't care for anyone, you know, you kind of like moved off and just kind of like stand alone, and that just how you were. You know, I understand you and I kind of have the same qualities because like some of you all don't know, she was born on my birthday, and
Yes, yes.
I say, wow, I say, Lord, she's taking my birthday. And so as we as we grew older and I got older and older, and then we started planning our birthdays together and stuff. And Donna and I, we like pretty much the same thing. And like
Yes.
my youngest daughter, I can't go and just like say I go and buy her something. I can't buy her anything. I would just have to give her the money. But Donna, she likes what I like, and I likes what she likes.
Ma,
And then
Gina
that's
said, Ma, your granddaughter Gina said, it's like looking at twins right now. Of course, you all have the same quality. You were born on the same day. And Tony says,
yeah,
sound like a trend. I was the same, and so is AJ. And that's funny because I think too, I think I still have that personality of like not liking to be around a lot of people. And as the older that I'm getting, I found out that I am more like you. I really am.
yes, because as I gotten older in my life, um, I don't like to be around a lot of people either, and things has to be right. And if it's not right, then I don't want any part of it
Right.
because you know I like to do things that's what's right. And if it's not right, and I found myself, and I think Donna is the same way. I found out that about myself, the older I have gotten, that it don't hurt me to tell someone about themselves if they are not doing right. I have the strength to do that. And before I used to just let it slide, but now I can really truly tell them the truth. And if they don't like it, then that's their business. But I come to them in a good way and let them know, you know, that's not right. And I'm not going to accept it if it's not right. I'm not going to accept things that's not right. So I find myself doing that a whole lot here lately. Is this be truth to myself and truth to the people,
So,
and not just
um, so Franny then was saying Tony is the same way. She said not was, and Malachi is more like her. And Karen said both of you are fashion queens. We try to be, but you know, I found too like Tony is more like me. He is kind of quiet. AJ was the same way, my grandson.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
so when once you know left my father, I remember my brother and I, you know, we stayed with my grandmother for a little bit, and then we got our own place. And you always made sure we had what we needed, because growing up with my dad, we had what we wanted and what we didn't want, because that's just who he was. And you know, and I tell people, even though I was in a two-parent home, it was just still you, me, and Andy, you know, because my dad was running the streets and doing whatever. And so you still was able to carry it on, and still we didn't lack nothing. We didn't go for, you know, we didn't not go without anything. And and that's one thing that I try to pride myself in my with my children, you know, because I didn't have everything for them. I didn't have the tools, and I relied solely on you when it came to my firstborn, and then when it came to my secondborn, because I didn't know, you know. And I just, you know, appreciate you for that. And I know, you know, we do things, but you still love us in spite of whatever we do.
Yes, because you know we all make mistakes in our life, and so we can't judge one another. It's because sometimes we make these mistakes, but we learn from these mistakes. So
Hmm.
sometimes if we be disobedient, then sometimes, hey, then you'll have to bump your head and then realize that what your parents tell you was telling you the truth. But sometimes experience for yourself is most time is the best teacher.
So would
Because
you
when
say
you
I was hard-headed?
no, you wasn't hard headed. Sometimes you was a little, especially when you got to be in the teens, and sometimes you kind of like, just like for instance, when we was in Colorado, I think you was around about 16,
Mm-hmm.
and you wanted to go out to the you said you was going to the bowling alley. And, so I says okay, and I had just had my third child, just had Sheena. So
Right.
it was snowing that particular day. So I told you, I said, well, you be back home, at least by 12. So you said, okay, mommy. And so you went. So I was sitting up waiting. So you come stepping in between 12:30 something to 1. So I said, where did you go? I said, you said you were going to the bowling alley. And so you must have forgot what you told me because you said I went to the skating ranch. So I had to kind of knock you upside the head a few times, and you went stuffing upstairs. And like I said, you didn't give me any trouble. That was the only time that I had to really beat you. I said, even when you was little, I didn't even have to spank you because you really was a good child.
And Kim said, me and Brenda are the same. Karen said you had 3 biological and a slew of adopted children.
Yes, yes.
Yes. But I mean, I tell you, and like my friends on here, and like we had a lot of family on here. I always remember always trying to do what's right because that's just how, you raised us. Like I said, we were far from perfect, but we knew our boundaries. At least I knew my boundaries more than my brother because he tested the waters. And I think I'm still that way now at 53. I still know my boundaries because I knew I didn't want to get in trouble. So so when I started like dating, how did that affect what, our relationship when I started dating at a young age,
How did it affect our relationship?
Yeah, like when I started, was into, started getting into guys, especially when we moved to Colorado, and then as we start traveling.
Well, like I say, you was still young. Like I think when we went to Germany, I think you was 17, just graduate from high school.
Mm-hmm.
I still consider you as my baby because you wasn't grown, and I guess I was just trying to protect you. And every guy that you try to have me to me is like, I don't like them. I don't like this. And you just say, what's wrong with it? It's because I was trying to protect her because, like I say, she didn't have a lot of experience with guys and stuff. So it's like I was trying to protect her. And then she'll say, well, Mama, you don't like nobody that I like. And I say, well, you know what? I say, that's because that's a mother's thing. A mother have that intuition, when she feel like that guy's not the right for you, right for you, then she would, try to speak up and tell you before you get in trouble or whatever.
Yes.
But I was just only trying to protect you at the time. You probably didn't see it then, but I'm pretty sure that you see it now.
I do. And your daughter Sheena said, who got in trouble the most between me, her, and Andy?
Well, I can tell you what, honey, between her and Andy, it was kind of like a tie because, honey, oh my God, between Sheena, now, honey, that's another different story for that child. But that's my baby. Her dad spoiled her right to the core. And in his sight, she could do no wrong.
Yes.
I had to do discipline with her because he didn't believe in beating her, so I had to. But she was really
Gina said her and Andy was they both Libras, so they got in trouble the most. And I tell people I don't even really remember, when we were, when you and my dad was together, I don't even really remember getting spankings because I know for him, I think I got one spanking, but he just felt bad afterwards. And then I remember he used to just put me on punishment, and I used to just sit in the door and just look at my friends. And I think that hurt him the most, but I just don't remember like getting a lot of spankings growing up.
You and your brother, neither one, Andy, Andy, when Andy came along, you was 3 years old, and we really spoiled Andy, and you was proud to have a brother. I thought you was not gonna like him whenever I brought him home, but you took right on to him, and
Mom,
that's because
Angie said, oops. She said, I guess I got in trouble with Andrew.
who say that?
Angie.
But Andy was something,
Yep,
but
you did, Angie.
as a little kid, Andy was the sweetest little thing. And in my eyes and in his daddy's, honey, he didn't do no wrong. But like I say, he was not a disobedient child. He was a busy child.
Yes.
But other than that, you and Andy, neither one, y'all didn't get a lot of spankings because both of your parents was in your life during that young age, young years, and we spent a lot of time with you all.
Yeah,
We
and
spent,
I think we're a lot alike. We're like you because we're not loud. We're kind of quiet. We like to have fun, but we also don't take it too far. And and like when I meet people, they always look at me funny because my girlfriend Jen, she was always like, why are you so reserved? Like, and then when she saw you, she was like, I get it now. Cause she was like, y'all are the same. And even when we go out and we dance, and sometimes we dancing together and I look at you and I'm like, I'm dancing just like her. Like we got the same dance moves. We got the same dance moves. So when I had my first child, being a mother, I was scared, but I didn't know how it was going to be or what it was going to be like. But you coached me, through, the first one. And so being a first time mom, how did I do to you as being a young mom?
well, being a young mom, I think you did real good. The things that you didn't know or understand, I would tell you what my mama taught me. And you really did good with Sean, and you really took care of him really good. And like I say, and we was in the same house because we was in Germany. That's where Sean was born. And Sean was just the apple of my eye because Sean, he wasn't the first born, but like I say, when we was over there, because I think Keith was the firstborn.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Keith was the firstborn.
and
I think Keith
yes,
and Sean was around
yeah.
the same age, and then Tony came right
Mhm.
after. And when I had both of them, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I think with your teaching and then grandma's teaching, I really have to say I think I did a hell of a good job because it wasn't easy raising two kids, even though me and their father was back and forth. But what I know is that I raised them how I knew how to raise them. I raised them how you taught me, and they are, like you said, they're the apple of my eye. And I can't thank you enough for just being a pivotal role in their life, because like I said, had it not been for you and it had not been for Andy and other family members, I don't know if I could have done it. I
Yeah.
just don't
And
know.
I think you did a great job raising those boys. And at times I thought that you was being a little bit too hard on them, but it paid off. And because you was kind of like me because I was trying to really keep you and Andy in tight, where I can every move and everything that watching what you do. But sometimes you can't just hold them in so tight. You got to give them a little room.
Right.
But then sometimes they think that you don't want them to do anything. But as they grow older, then they see and they understand what you was trying to do. You were just
Right.
trying to protect them. They are your children, and you want the best for them. So you would do anything that you can do to keep them out of trouble and to make sure that you know where they at all times. So and not just running wild, because like some parents they let their kids run wild, but
Sheena,
they
you're
don't
right.
take
She
time.
said she was the first baby. I took care of her. And for y'all that don't know, Sheena is on here. Sheena Roy. That is baby sister, and I remember when she was born, you know, everybody thought that she was mine because we just had her, me and my brother. And she was born in Colorado, and then we went to Germany. And so when we got to Germany, everybody just thought she was mine. And I remember going out, and guys used to say, well, how can you just go out partying every weekend and you got a baby? And I'm saying, I don't have a baby. And so, yeah, she was my baby. But then when I had my baby, she didn't want no part of that. She wanted me to leave the baby at the hospital because she was the baby.
She wanted Sean to stay in the hospital.
Yes,
We came
yes.
to the hospital to pick you all up. And she says, Mommy, she says, where that baby going? I said, the baby's coming home with us. I said, this is your nephew. She said, no, Mommy, I don't want the baby to come home. I said, well, where do you want the baby to stay? She said, in the hospital. I said, he can't stay in the hospital. He has to go home with us. She did not like that. She was mad with Donna. She was having a fit. She would go in there, and if he's on the couch, she would go and try to pick him up. He fell off the couch until I told Donna, I said, Donna, what you're going to have to do is, whatever you do with Sean, let Sheena help you. Let her help you feed him, change him, whatever you have to do. And
Right.
I said that she would get a bond with Sean. And so you start doing that. And after that, oh, she loved it, her nephew.
Right.
And when she went to pick him up another time, because she was just like 3, she put her arms around him real tight. And here she come down the hallway. And we see her come, and we jump up, and I say, let's don't frighten her. Just don't scare her. I say, we just be calm and tell her to bring him to. And that's what she did. But that girl was something else.
Yeah, and just like the boys and her are so close, and Tony, he, you know, is honest, over the transparent. He used to like just laying right up in her boobs. That's just where Tony wanted to be with Sheena. And you know, and it's just, I'm so glad that they do have a close relationship with their, you know, with their aunt, because they also close, you know, close in age. But tell people a little bit about what Tony say. He said, how did you feel out when you were, he said, how did you feel when you found out you was going to be a grandma? Tony asked that question.
Well, Tony did.
Yeah.
I really wasn't too enthused about it. But then at the same time, you know, you was grown and you had done finished school and everything. So it just, after you told me and everything, and after it kind of like sinked in, then I kind of was like, hey, you know, it was okay. Because I knew I was going to be there for you and the baby. So, and we was right there under the same roof. So it was.
They were spoiled. They were spoiled.
That's right.
And one thing I can remember is, I remember because you always, because you love your children, and you always, even to this day, like you always say, do you like this? Do you like this? Or whatever. And so then when they came along, it was like, I won't get in stuff. I won't get in stuff. And I remember you, and I was like, well, what about me? And you was like, well, now you have kids, so, you know, it don't count. And I'm thinking like, that's not cool. That is not cool.
They're getting the stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I did all of my grandkids, not just yours. I did Anna's the same way. And I would get Anna's last son, Tyrell, I would get him for the whole summer. And I'm telling that boy, all of my grandkids are my heart and the apple of my eye. But I kept him because my son wasn't married to his mom. And I used to teach him about the Lord. And right now today, he still remembered that stuff that I was trying to put in him. And I'm just proud of all of my grandkids because they all really turn out to be wonderful kids, even though they might not be doing everything that they should be doing. But it's okay. They'll get it together after a while. You know?
They will.
So don't worry about that. I just keep praying for them, and they'll get it together. Because Sean and Tony, I'm just so proud of them two because, you know, they just, I don't know, I guess because those two, they're just so amazing. Tony Joe could be a comedian.
Oh, Tony, you asking me that question? So Tony asked me, what did I think when I found out I was pregnant with him? Because I know when I found out I was pregnant with you, Tony, I was really nervous and scared because this is something that I wanted to do to give you a better life. Hey, Sharonda. Hey, Trina. Thank you guys for joining. But at the end of the day, yes, I was disappointed, but I could not have asked for a better son because, like I told people the last time, you was just stuck to me like glue. You,
Yeah.
you was truly, truly like a mama's boy. You, everywhere I went, I pretty much was bumping into you because you was just on my shirt tail. And like I said, when I did the interview with them too, sometimes as a parent and, and I've talked to you, Mom, and like, sometimes I just felt like I never got it right, because you want to make sure you always doing the right thing for your children, and I never wanted them to say, well, I didn't have this, because I always told you, I never wanted my children to feel like material things was going to be or make who they were. Because at the end of the day, that material things can't bring you happiness. It can't bring you love. It can't bring you joy. But it can bring you all those things temporarily. But at the end of the day, you can have all this stuff and still be miserable. And I knew that I didn't want that for them. I knew I didn't want that for them. And I'm so glad that that's how you raised us, because that's how I wanted to raise the boys. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, your peace and your happiness is what's more important than what you wear, where you live, what you drive. Because people living in houses that they're not even happy. They're driving cars that they still not happy. But with me, I'm living in my little townhouse. I'm happy. I'm at peace. And that's what I feel that, as parents, we have to instill in our children, to know that it's nice to have these things, but don't allow these things to make you or define who you are. And so why did you raise us that way? Why did you raise us that way? Because we had everything we wanted back then, because my dad, he provided those things. He did.
Well, one reason, like my mom, I'm 9 of the siblings that my mother had. My mother had 9 children. And like she raised us that way too. We always had 2. And then people wonder, how could my mom address 9 children? And back then, but my mama made sure that we had everything that we need. And a lot of times, us sisters, it was 6 girls, we can swap out and wear each other clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had 3 brothers. So my mother bought us that way, to carry it. And then also she taught us that we should carry ourselves as young ladies and not just carefree.
Yes.
And so the way she raised me, that was the only way that I knew how to raise you and Sheena.
And Kim is on here too, and Grandma was like that, and that's why we like that, because she always said, "Don't go out here with your bonnet on your head, pajamas on," and we didn't, and we just didn't.
Yeah, I had a really good mother. She was the best mother in the world.
Yeah.
And that's how she raised. She had time to raise 9 kids, and it was just awesome. And like I say, when I got married at 17, I didn't know anything about being married, having a baby, or anything. But I tell you what, my mom, I lived down the street from my mother so I could walk back and forth. And that's what I did, because if I wanted to know anything about what to do for you, she would tell me, and I would do it. So that's how I brought you up. And then Andy came along. So I was standing learning. I didn't even know how to cook when I got married, but your daddy did. So
well, I'm still learning how to cook.
And cook. And I'll be home all day taking care of you. And then as time went on, he was teaching me how to cook all along. So
that's something I didn't get from you. And I'll just go ahead and let people know I didn't get from you. So if anybody on here that, think that you want me to be your boo, whoever, that's one thing you're not going to get. Because my children tease me all the time, be like, "Mama, what you cooking?" Nothing. Because JT was the cook. So I didn't get that skill from her. I wish I did, but I just didn't care about cooking. I just didn't, and I don't know why. I mean, you know why? I never like care about cooking.
You didn't care about cooking, and you know what? And your sister Sheena is the same way. She don't care about cooking.
And
But your
Sean
brother,
said, and that's a fact.
but your brother, he would stay in the kitchen with me, want to learn how to cook, and I was thinking it could have been you, but you weren't interested in it. And when I was home with my mom,
Tony
I
said
was
I was
interested
too big.
in it.
Tony said I was too busy partying.
No, you won't party. You just didn't want interested in learning how to cook. And I wasn't either. And I know I wasn't partying.
Gina, you right. I don't want to cook, and thank God I had somebody that loved to cook. Trina, thank you. Trina's on here, Mom. Say, hey, we got people from
Tina,
Maryland. But yeah, I just, and the kids just tease me because they like, and I never forget, Cedric told me, because you know how we like to decorate the tables and stuff, right?
yeah, oh
And
yes.
so I think Wendy them had came here when we was in another place, and I had my table all set neat and stuff. And so Wendy told Cedric, she was like, "Oh, wow, Mama is like decorating the table and getting it ready for us to get ready to eat." He said, "No," he said, "She is. That's her decoration. Say it ain't no eating going on." But no, I mean, I like to cook, and I wish I could cook, but you know what? Gina, you're right. You got to find somebody that loves how to cook, girl, because if they don't, they're going to be shocked. They're going to be
Oh,
shocked.
well, I thank God that your father taught me how to cook. So, because that's why when
Your
I was
grandson up on here,
small,
Tony talk about, hold on. Tony said, don't ever try Donna's version of chicken noodle soup. He said you might, he said you might get some chicken broth, no noodles and no chicken.
oh my God.
Oh Lord,
Well,
your
it's time
grandkids,
done. They know it's time to go. So that's why we go what we do.
Oh Lord, but yeah. So tell some people some stuff about me. They might just want to know if y'all have some questions that y'all want to ask my mom. Just ask her some things about me because like I said, people. Sharonda, you right. That Tony, yeah. But if y'all have questions that y'all want to ask her about me, feel free to ask her because like I tell them, I'm in a new season of my life, with JT passing, and you have really coached me through that because you are a widow, and um, so how tell people how that process for you when you saw me going through this stage of my life, being your daughter. Oh,
Well,
Charlie said, make sure you tell him some good, juicy
being a
stories.
widow or just what? What was the question?
I said, just tell people how you saw me go through this transition of my life with JT's death.
Well, I knew that she was going through, and I knew she was taking it real hard, and she would try to put up a front, but I already know I just felt it in my spirit, and she would try to hide. I was calling, ask Donna, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing okay. But
Hmm.
sometimes when I call her and ask her that, I could tell in her voice, then that's when I know that she's really having a bad day. And I understood it because I went through the same thing. Sometimes you might have maybe a good day for a while,
Right.
then overall all that stuff come back rushing in on you,
Hmm.
and you just don't know what to do. And then you sometimes you don't want to talk about it. You
Right.
want to keep it bottled up inside, and that's not a good thing because that's what I did with Thomas. And sometimes you keep it bottled up inside, and sometimes you will have to talk to someone because during that time with Thomas, after I took care of him for so long, I was stressed out, I was depressed. So I ended up having to talk to a counselor
Hmm.
for a couple of days. And once I talked to her, she was asking me questions. And then she looked at me that second day I was in it. She said, well, honey, she said, you don't need me anymore. She said, because you got it. She said, you know what you need to do. And but this sometimes you just need somebody just to kind of like talk to. And just because you talk to a counselor don't mean you're crazy. You be
Exactly.
going through stuff sometimes, and people be afraid to let somebody know. But you know what? Sometimes you need somebody other than your family to vent to,
Yeah.
and you just need someone to talk to, and express yourself and tell them what's on your mind and what's in your heart, and let all that stuff go. So that's what I had to do. I had to let it go, and after that, I was on my way to recovery because I knew I could do it. So that's why
Yeah.
I tell Don all the time.
AJ and Malachi said, "Hey, Nana and Nima, I love you guys. Love you, AJ and Malachi. And you know, how do maintaining your faith throughout your storms with family? How do maintaining your faith throughout your storms with your family? That's the question Angie had.
With your family, sometimes family, sometimes you close knit. Like myself, I came from a close knit family, and
Mm-hmm.
and then when things get out of order, and it's like the family's going two different ways, it breaks my heart because I know that that is not the way that mom and dad brought us up. They
Exactly.
brought us up to love one another, be there for one another, stick with one another. And but when you see the family going in different direction, it really hurts and break your heart because that's family. If you don't
Yeah.
have family, who do you have? So family is supposed to be the one that be there for you, but then
Yes.
family, sometimes they don't.
And she said,
But
how do you maintain?
I
How do you
maintain.
maintain when the family is in a discord?
Well, it took me a while, but and it actually took when the COVID came because I lived by myself, so I was here by myself. So it gave me a chance to really search myself,
Right.
and it really gave me a chance to talk to God one on one. And during that time, the COVID, I didn't know what was going to happen because it's like if you go out, you be around somebody like you don't know whether you're going to get the COVID or not.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, I got strengthened the most with God and got closer to God is because of this pandemic. And it made me see and realize it doesn't matter what we go through with our family. They still our family
Yes.
and we love them anyway. And just because you have disagreements or whatever, you shouldn't let that come between you and your family
Mm-mm.
because,
Mm-mm.
because you're supposed to love everybody, even if they're not your family.
Yes,
And so
exactly.
God just took me to another level. He just took me to another place. So, you can't make anyone do anything. But one thing, what God is looking at is He wants you to do what He told you to do and what you're supposed to do
Exactly.
because you're not responsible for your family and what your family do. So, as long as you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do, then that's okay. And that's how I maintain. And plus, you have to keep praying. You have to keep get on your knees and pray. You just have to keep talking to God and ask God to help you. And during this time and season, I have two favorite scriptures. It's Isaiah 41:10, where he
Uh-huh.
tells you to fret not because he's with you.
Right.
And don't be dismayed because he is your God. And he
Yes.
says he will strengthen you, he will help you, and he will uplift you with his righteous right hand. And the next one is Psalms 91, where he says, where he says that he's your refuge and your fortress, and
Yes.
he's your
Yes.
God, and you put your trust. So we have to put our trust in God and not man. So no matter how
You,
people act and what they do, we ain't got nothing to do with it. Just do your
no.
part, and God will bring you through, and He gonna bring them through too, because He gonna deal with them,
Yeah,
whether they know
Karen
it or not.
said, it touched her heart to see close-knit families because hers is not. And and that's one thing I want, I'm so thankful that my brother and my sister and we may be, different in age, but we are close. We are close because that's how you raised us, but that's just who we are. And then like my cousins, on here, we don't see each other, but one thing I do like about, we do send each other like in our texts sometimes when somebody want to send something. And because like you know, I tell people, we just don't know when our last day, we don't even know when the last hour. And you know, and I used to always, because everybody used to say the cliche, oh, life is too short, life is too short. But then when, you know, death hit my home, it gave me a different outlook, because, you know, when JT was sick and he was going down fast and I saw it, and when they said 18 months and God said not so, and he took him quickly, and I'm just like, wow, you know, they said 18 months, but God said, I got something else. And so for me, to, you know, still go through this, you know, I still grieve, but I know I'm in a better place because of Christ, because of, you know, him. And I know I have a great support system, and I know I can talk to you. But it hurts me when families are not together like we should. You know, it just hurts, because, you know, that's just not who we were. We're not raised like that. And so, you know, Angie, like you said, sometimes people have to swallow their pride and say, you know what, if I've done anything to you, you know, please forgive me, because it's a terrible thing for a person to die and you have art with them and you can't make it right.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the sad thing about it, you know. So and you know, we're going to touch on this a little bit, you know, and so you know, I'm writing this book, you know, Imperfect Marriage Saved by Grace. And I, you know, talked about how, you know, when I was conceived, how it wasn't really wanted, if you will, you know what I mean? But I thank God that you had the courage to want me, you know, you had the courage to want me. And then even in the midst of that, how Satan still try to take me out, try to take you out. And, you know, and sometimes, you know, when I'm going through, just knowing the story, that keeps me going, because I know I have purpose.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You know, I know I have purpose. And sometimes, you know, you feel like everything is going crazy, but because I know what Satan wanted to do from the beginning with me. So I always go there, because I say, he didn't win because God already know what I'm going to be. He already has predestined me. So in just that gives me hope, because some days it's hard. It's hard. But just knowing that you had the faith and you wanted me to be birthed, that's my comfort for me.
And I was young, and I didn't really have a say so over my life, but God did. He did.
Yes.
So God's plan was for you to be here whenever Satan's plan was to try to destroy you before you even got here.
Yes.
But it didn't, and I thank God it didn't work.
Yeah.
And when I look at you now, my beautiful young lady, my daughter, my dream, my queen, look at you now. And I'm saying, Lord, I thank you, because she could not have been here if I'd have gave into the text that Satan was trying to kill her. But you've seen other plans for her life. So I thank you. And then by me being young, you know, I didn't have no say so about anything. But one thing I know is God did, and God did it. So
yeah, he did.
Thank God for that. Because look at you now. Just think if you would have been aborted, just, you know, I'd have never knew all of this. How talented you are, and this ambitions you are. You know, you just got so much stuff in you. Every time I turn around, you're doing something, and I'm saying, oh God, what is she up to now? But you know, I'm just thankful, and I'm proud of you, really proud of you.
Thank you.
You are my daughter. You are my queen. You are my beautiful, beautiful daughter. And I would not have taken anything in this world for you. And that's for you and my other two children too. Because I'm close with all of y'all.
You are, I'm, you know, and that's why I was like, it was so fitting because Mother's Day is coming up, and and I know some people on here that they don't have a mother, and and I'm so thankful that even when I bring my friends into my life, you embrace them as your daughters. You don't treat them any different than you treat me. um Karen said, it breaks my heart to know that Mother's Day is about to be here. And I'm trying to see, and I don't know my oldest daughter, not spoken to her since Christmas.
Mm.
And tell Karen how she can deal with that, because I know there have been a point that when you try to tell me what's right and I don't want to hear it and I don't talk to you. So tell Karen how she can handle that with her daughter, because there's sometimes I have been upset, and I'm like, I don't want to talk because you told me what was right and I know it's right, but then me, I'm like, I don't want to talk to her right now. I don't want to talk to her right now.
Well, Karen, how I dealt with Donna was, like I say, I knew I done the best that I could with her. And when she got in that mood that she didn't want to talk, all I did was just pray, and I would tell her, whenever you get ready to talk to me, then you call me. And I tells her how much I love her, and I let her have her little moment. And sometimes I still have to go back and maybe call her before she calls me. But after then hey, it's all on. So I let God work it out, and He'll handle it.
Yeah, he
And
will.
you try to keep yourself out of it, because you know that you done all you could, and you know you love your child, and you know your child loves you. So don't take it personal, Karen. Just pray, and she'll come around. She will come around.
Hey Gina, hey Robin. And and sometimes we as parents, we sometimes we just think that, am I doing this right? And did you ever feel like that with me and Sheena and Andy? Like, am I doing this right? Did I get it right? Even teenagers own up to being grown now.
Of course, I've asked myself over and over and over. I said, God, you know what? Did I do the best that I could with my children? But I did the best that I knew how to do.
Right.
And I know I didn't make the best decision, the best mistake. I mean, the best decision all the time, and made mistakes. But like I said before, you learn from your mistakes,
Right.
and you grow. But you can't take back the things that you've already done. You're gonna have to
Right.
start from where you are, because once you already made all these mistakes in your life, you can't go back and change them, because if you could, everybody would. So we're gonna make mistakes in our life, but those mistakes don't have to keep a hold on us. We have
No.
to give it to God, and God will work it out. And honey, we can start a new beginning, and then go from there. So,
So
just pray for your daughter, and that's all you can do is pray, and then put it in God's hand. But once you put it in God's hand, leave her in there.
mhm.
Just leave her there.
And I think that's a hard thing to do sometimes, Ma.
It
We
is.
we
It
want
is.
to, you know,
We want to
fix
fix it.
it, and and just like even with with Sheena, sometimes we just want her to just do exactly what we want her to do because we see
Yes.
so much in her. And and now I find myself telling you that I'm like, Mama, you can't do it. Take your hands off of it. And you always say, I know, I'm gonna do it. But then you go right back and you try to fix it. And then, and I said, well, if you're gonna do it, then God is saying, well, why you keep praying and you want me to do it? And so I'm just like, Mama, you gotta let it go. Just put it in God's hand and let her stay there, because He can take care of her better than we can.
Yes. But that just our mothers instinct. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But one point at one time or another, we're gonna have to do it, because
Yeah.
we realize we can't fix it. God
I
have to
know
fix
you
it.
are, sis. I know you are. I believe in you. I believe in you. God has so much for you, and you just got to just walk into it. And sometimes walking into it means you got to let people go, things go, and you know what? And what you lose, He'll replace with something even better. And you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we know you're on your way. We know you're on your way. You're gonna be a testimony walking around here. You are. Karen says she's like she prayed about it, and it's in God's hand because when your child curse you out and they want to whoop your blank, you have no other choice but to take your hands off of it. And you're right, Karen, you don't. But like, you know, Mama said, you just keep praying and trusting God that He will he just gonna fix it. He's gonna fix it. But you can't fix it, you know?
Yeah.
So with Mother's Day's coming up, and I know you've lost, you know, your mother, my grandmother. So how are you feeling with that? Are you feeling like anxiety? You know, how are you feeling, you know, with Mother's Day coming up without grandma?
Well, I really truly miss my mom, and but we all knew that, you know, she was real sick, and I didn't like seeing her that way. But I'd rather for her to be here with us. But then the way she was, no, I didn't, because she was really sick. And we had her for 91 years. And
Yes,
I thank God for that. I am grateful and thankful for the 91 years that I had with my mom. And like I say, she was the best mom in the world. I wouldn't have traded her for anything. She took care of her 9 children.
she
She was a
did.
good woman.
She
She was
did.
a good. And so, and that's why I say, you know, we pretty much take after her because she was a role model for us. She was a role model.
And y'all definitely pass that down to me and my cousins, you know, even though we do different things, but you know, we all have kind of the same mannerism. We do. We really do. And I just think we just have an awesome family, you know. We don't always agree, but that's fine. But one thing about it, we always there for each other, you know. Erica said, "Hey, Mama." Hey, Erica.
Hi,
Um,
Erica.
so. Um, yeah, Angie, she lived her life. She really did. She really did. But you know, I just, you know, wanted you to be on here. I'm so proud of you that you that you was able to get on there. Thank you, Sheena. Where's Sheena? She left already?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
she left you on your own?
Left me on my
Yay!
own. Left me on my own.
Kim, you right. Grandma did. She taught us well. Um, like I said, you know, growing up, we had so much fun. Hey, Joey, thank you guys. But I just, you know, I just wanted you on. And I was like, okay, Mama, you're going to come on here. And, you know, you was like, okay, but I don't know how to do this. But you did fine. And I just wanted to celebrate you and let people see who I belong to and who birthed me and just love me. Even when I mess up now, you still love me. You don't judge me. And, you know, and that's one thing that I love about you. And because even as your child, you always tell me what's right. And I may not like it. But one thing I know, I've never, ever disrespected you. I just don't say nothing, you know. And I just, because that's just who we are, you know, we just never talk back, you know, even as kids, because grandma didn't raise us like that. Y'all didn't raise us like that. Kim would say, she said, how did you get Birdie on there?
Oh, Kim.
Kim, you done gave her name away.
Uh-oh, Kim. I'm going to get you.
Erica said, did you all get y'all fashion from? Who she say? Grandma. Yeah, grandma was pretty fashionable, I think. Well, you know.
Pretty much one of her sisters.
Yeah, my aunties, my grandma's sisters. Yeah, yeah. But Erica, you know what? sometimes, I try to tell Mama when she always be like, I'm going downtown, because people know her downtown. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell. I'm gonna tell. She goes to East Fashion Metro. People already know her. They know her in Cato's, and so she'll call me. She be like, I went down there. I saw this dress or pants or whatever. She be like, what size are you? And I'll be like, Mama, I don't need nothing there. I don't need nothing there. But then when I come up to her house, I always end up leaving with something. And JT used to always say, Mama, she don't need nothing else. She don't have no room for nothing else. But I would take it anyway. But yeah, I think I get my style from her. But I'm noticing that I still like her style, but I think I am creating my own style. What do you think?
Who think, me?
Yeah, I still like your style. I said, but I'm noticing like I'm creating my own style. What do you think?
Well, that's okay, because my style is kind of like changing too. So
Yeah,
it's okay. But no matter what style you create or you do, hey, we still like pretty much the same thing. So it don't
we
matter how
do.
many times you change your style. It'll be my style too, because I like the same things. We like the same things. So be it.
Yeah, Angie said Jalea is blessed. Yeah, because Mama be hooking her up because she got a girl to dress. She got a girl to dress. But I just say I love you. And I just, just want you to know I love you. I appreciate you. I don't take you for granted. And I thank you for correcting me when I'm wrong, even when it hurts, because the truth always hurt. But, you have to do that when you love somebody.
Yeah.
And I just thank you for just pushing me to be great. And I just thank you for just, giving your life up to raise me, raise my sister, raise my brother, because without you, we wouldn't be here. And it's awesome. It's really awesome. And I'm just so proud that you got on Facebook Live. Gina says she loved you, Ma. Gina
Well, thank
Bland
you.
says she loved you. And I'm just so thankful. I couldn't ask for a better mom. God truly knew who to pick to raise us. He truly knows what we need. And he really knew we needed somebody like you to keep us in line. He knew that.
Well, thank you.
Yes, Sheena, she is the best mom ever. She is. I can't believe you left her on her own, Sheena. But I just want to say I love you. And Mother's Day coming up, and I guess we'll figure out what we're gonna do for Mother's Day. But I just wanted people just to see you, to just embrace you, just so they can see this other side, because they're learning more about me. Every time I go on Hot Topics with Donna, they're learning. So I figure what better way to start the Mother's Day off to say, hey, this is who I belong to. So now they can see. Thank you, Gina. Gina said this was amazing. And so, do you have anything else you want to say to the mothers or to me or just in general before we go?
I just want to say,
Love you too, Trina.
you're a great mom. You raised your boys right, and I'm very proud of you and very happy that you are the mother that you are. So I'm thankful for that too. And I couldn't ask for three no better children than the one that I have, even with their mistakes. I still couldn't ask for any better children, and I thank God for all of you. So, and I
Yeah,
thank you for
John said this is great. Love you both. Thank you, Angie. I just want to say thank you guys for joining Hot Topics with Donna. Um, I'm trying not to cry, but I just, I'm so thankful. I know a lot of people on here may not have their mothers, and but you still have a mother in God. But just love on who has took the role of a mother, whether it's an aunt, a friend, or whoever. Like I said, a lot of you have taken on my mom as your mom, as you can see on here, and and that's one thing I know, that I'm not selfish when it comes to sharing my mom, because I know her heart and I know how she is with my friends. When she loves, she loves. If she know they're with me, she loves them, because like she said, I've never just hung around a lot of people. It's always been my cousins, And now when I get older, I just have a handful of friends, and I know that she has embraced all of my friends, that's on here, like Erica and Karen and Gina and Robin, and Lynette and them. And so I just want to thank you for just loving my friends as you love me, because you know how I am. And when I am your friend, I'm your friend. And I just want to say thank you and I love you. And, thank everybody for joining Hot Topics with Donna. I will be back on Thursday, and I will have somebody else. I don't know, might be you. So if I call you and say, hey, I want you to do something Mother's Day, I don't want you to shrink back, because, it's just about embracing mothers, because being a mother is truly not an easy job. It's not. And God gives us these children because he know we can handle them, and so we can't take that lightly. And it is a job. It's a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even when they're grown, it's still a job, because we still have to love them. We still have to coach them. And so, your kids are not perfect, but they're perfect for you because God gave them to you. And that's why I'm so thankful that God chose you to be my mother and my brother's mother, and my sister's mother, because you know how to handle us, and you handle us with love. You handle us with respect. You don't never yell at us. You don't never cuss at us. You never cussed at us. And so, and that, I'm thankful, because I see parents now, they cuss their children out, they talk to them any kind of way. And I am so thankful that you wasn't that type of mother. Even when you reprimanded us, you still did it with love. You still loved us. You didn't call us out of our names. You never said you wish we wasn't here. And for that, I am so forever grateful, because some kids are not blessed to have parents to just love them even through their mess. But we can say we do. We can say we do. You love us even when we mess up. You tell us what you got to say, and you just leave it. And okay, mama. Okay, mama. But I just want to say love you. Happy Mother's Day early. And like I said, we will get together and figure out what we're going to do. Cynthia Wooten said Happy Mother's Day. And the ones that stood in the gap. Yes, Miss Cynthia, yes. Happy Mother's Day to all the women and mothers that stepped in when mothers was absent. So we can't ask for any. You. So now when I ask you to do it again, you can do it by yourself, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, I just want to say I love you.
We'll see.
And I will talk to you either tonight or tomorrow. But I love you, and I hope you have a good night. Thank you, Sheena, for coming over and help Mama get on. And so you left her, so she's on her way now with technology. Like your grandson Tony say, old people don't know how to do technology. So Tony, if you're still on here, your grandma is on here doing her technology now. But I love you, Mama.
All right. Love you too,
love
Donna.
She
Right.
said laugh out loud. All right, I love you. Bye.
Love you too.
All right,
Bye.
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 Okay.
Ooh.
Thank
you guys so much for tuning in with Hot Topics with Donna. I'm so glad you guys came on and got to enjoy my mom. And I hope, she has, blessed you all. Just thank you for just, just loving on her and just loving on us, just to see how, I am with her. She's really like just amazing woman, and I'm trying to just make sure I always do right to please her, and just be who I am. And even when I fail, she still loves me. And so I would tell, you mothers, when your kids don't do right, we still have to love them. We still have to correct them, and they're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, you're still their mother, not their friend. So I love you. You guys have an amazing, amazing night. Have a great Mother's Day if I don't see you or talk to you. And like I said, I love you. I love you, love you. Hot topics. And if you have any topics that you want to hear on the show, just send me a inbox and say, hey, can you do this or whatever? And I can. I have gotten some requests, and so I am doing that. Gina, happy Mother's Day. Tell your mom happy Mother's Day as well. Kim said, Kim, I love you. Angie, I love you. Rob, Gina, Karen, Lynetta was on here. I just thank you guys so much for just tuning in with Hot Topics with Donna. And so, like I said, I might call one of you guys on Thursday and say, hey, you want to be on here? Don't be saying you don't want to be on here, because you're going to be on here. We can do like some 15-minute intervals. I just want to showcase mothers. I just want, everybody to know, hey, we are special, not just on Mother's Day, but every day. Every day is Mother's Day. And so I love you, my friends. Thank you for joining Hot Topics with Donna. And I will see you all on Thursday and Friday. So enjoy your evening and have a good night.